The very first Count Cross Stitch kit I ever owned was a Dimensions kit. It was Southwest Mesa, and my husband bought it for me for Christmas the year that I decided I wanted to learn cross stitch. The packaging is long gone. My first attempt at stitching it is long gone, but I still have the chart, and a couple of years ago I started it again. I'm Michelle, this is my romantic tangle, and I am hooked on Dimensions cross stitch kits. I've done a lot of videos on my channel over the past couple of years about different aspects of these kits and why I like these kits, but I have never done a video showing you my collection or telling you why I love these things so much. I think because I thought it was obvious. What is there to say about these? They are gorgeous. They are fun to stitch. I love the subject matter that they tend to use in their kits. I do not love every single Dimensions kit, which is good because I could never afford to buy or have the time to stitch every single Dimensions kit, but I love their subject matter. I really like in the newer kits that they have the floss organizers. The old kits, you had that tangle of floss with a list of colors and the numbers of skeins of floss, and they're challenging, but I love those kits enough that I will tackle them. They have a very distinctive style of chart. I actually found this one in a thrift store in a plastic bag, and all that was visible was this. No idea what it was, but it was Dimensions. I was pretty sure it was Dimensions, and I knew these were trees, and so I bought it. It was actually a gold collection chart that was the original plastic packaging, but the outer envelope with the picture was gone. It turned out to be All Is Calm. I paid $2.25 for that kit, and I've made progress on it. I would have spent a lot more for this kit if I had known what I was buying. I might have bought this kit brand new. It's long discontinued, I think. I've started a lot of these and finished one. I'm hoping there will be more when I find my under the bed box, because it seems that there should be more that I finished. This is Village Serene. It is a gold collection petite that I found in my stash when I picked up my stitching again. I have no idea where I bought it, when I bought it, but I quite happily stitched it. That's one of the other things I love about these kits is, especially the gold collection petites, you get so much bang for your buck. These cost around $12 to buy them new, and they have, for $12, that is a lot of stitching and a lot of fun to be had. The gold collection, the huge kits, are $40 and something, I think, and again, for something that is going to take you 100+ hours to stitch, if you are excited about the project, you can't beat that. I haven't done the math to see if a full coverage Dimensions Gold kit compared to like one of the full coverage landscape charts I have in my stash, by the time you buy the Ada and the floss and the pattern, how they compare out. I think either is a perfectly valid option, because that is a lot of stitching for not a crazy lot of money. And then you get into some of the other kits like Beach Babies and just the standard Dimensions kits, and again, that is a lot of stitching for the money if you buy them new and pay retail prices. If you find them in the thrift store or at a garage sale, you are doing even better. And these kits are common enough that they're not out there to be found every single day, but they are out there to be found. Now I'm going to change my camera angle so we have less glare, and I am going to show you what I'm working on and what I have stashed over the years. There's a lot of it. I didn't realize how much until I pulled it all out to film this video. Beach Babies is a little more cheerful and contemporary than I usually go, but it is so stinking cute, and it just, I look at this and I can feel the sand between my toes. European Bistro is another one of those things that sums up absolutely everything I love about Dimensions Gold Collection. It is gorgeous, and I have seen it in so many people's Instagram feeds and floss tube videos. I could not happily live my life if I did not stitch this. Then there is Beacon at Daybreak, another Dimensions Gold Petites. I love these. I love that they are so detailed, and again, the old-fashioned scenery. There's nothing to complain about with these at all. And I'm at the stage with this one where I work on it for a while and then I set it aside, and sooner or later the bug will bite and I will finish it. And now let's look at what I haven't started yet, because I have apparently a ridiculous collection of Dimensions kits. And I don't apologize for that. Max in the Adirondacks is... I love the Wysocki cats. And I wish that every last Wysocki cat was available as a Dimensions kit. There is one, I think it's called Leonardo, that is a cat with a palette. And oh, if I had seen that when it was new, I would have bought it in a heartbeat. And of course, it's no longer available. This one is Maggie the Messmaker. We're going to try not to glare. She's another Charles Wysocki cat. And just all of the little details of this sewing room, they make me giddy. This one is Frederick the Literate, and I bought this kit way back when I first started cross stitching. I made a mess of it. I don't know if I threw it away or if it is packed away in a darkest corner of my sewing room. But I bought the kit again because I really want to stitch this, especially after seeing what Amy from Amityville, she did a Stephen King inspired adaptation of this, and oh my gosh, it is amazing. This one is Holiday Village. I'm trying to tip at odd angles to keep the plastic from glaring. Again, it is classical buildings and scenery, and this one is Lakeside Village. Love the colors. And Cozy Cove, which is another Charles Wysocki. I can't get enough Charles Wysocki patterns and kits in my stash. I just can't. Then we move on to the regular Dimensions kits. I grabbed Sea Beauty at the Hobby Lobby cross stitch clearance last year. Simplicity Vintage. This reminds me of the old classic Barbie dolls. Cafe by the Sea, because again, buildings and ocean. Wildflower Trio. I love the blue colors of these mason jars. This one is Canal de la Villa, and I cannot remember. I think I might have bought this one on Hobby Lobby clearance, but it doesn't. I was going to say it doesn't look like their clearance tag, but yeah, that says Hobby Lobby. So this is a Hobby Lobby clearance kit. Let's Fly Away was a Hobby Lobby clearance kit. And Charming was a Hobby Lobby clearance kit. Because I love these. And if I can get them on clearance, I'm going to do that. I have Quiet Night, Toy Shop, Believe in Santa. I don't do a ton of Christmas stitching, but the details on this one and the sheet music behind him, and Travel Memories, just that pen and the letter with the stamp and everything about it. And then we get to the kits that I picked up at the thrift store and the estate sales, and guys, there's a stack of them. This one is Autumn Tree, and it is Cruel. Dimensions has done a lot of different stuff over the years. Amish Breezy Day. I think this is Value Village, so I bet Grandma bought this for me. The Night to Remember. I bought this when my oldest son was in his Titanic phase, and I think I might have bought it at the shop No, this is Michael's clearance, so I don't know where I bought that one. Possibly at Michael's. There was an estate sale a couple of years ago, and you might have heard me talk about the estate sale where I was looking at ads and saw the corner of a cross-stitch kit and immediately packed my kids into the car. Well, this came from that estate sale. It is Sacred Connection, and it was $2. I have started labeling some of the kits in my collection so that I can remember where on earth I got them. They also had North American Beauties. And what else came from there? Because I know I've got more in here that came from them. The Grand Sage came from them. There was another wizard that I also bought and sent off to a friend. Love Worth Having is Worth Sharing came from that same estate sale. And yep, that's it for that. Spring Camp is Needlepoint, and it came from the very first store that was going out of business when I started cross-stitching. They had stuff very deeply discounted, and I went a little hog wild. The Wave, I don't know where. Okay, that's got to be a thrift store price tag. Wreath of Roses, which I know was a thrift store find. Down Memory Lane, that's another Wysocki, and this one is stamped, and this one I think I got at an antique store during the Sisters Annual Quilt Show. We walked in and I did not have any cash on me because we had walked over from the house 2 blocks and we're just stretching our legs, and I had to go back in the morning because the shop was due to close in 5 minutes, and I spent the night hoping they would have it when I went back, and thank goodness they did. Cafe Royale. This one is also needlepoint. Holiday stamp stocking. I don't know when or why, or sometimes if it has dimensions on the label, it just has to come home with me. This one, I can't find the name of this one. That's another, that might be another Wysocki. Peaceful Countryside. And yes, that is by Charles Wysocki. Needlepoint Eagle that I think I picked up because I thought one of the boys might want to do it. And Summertime Sights by Charles Wysocki. This one is Autumn Leaves. I have had this in my stash since the beginning of time, and I am going to start it someday. There's a lot of, I'm going to start it soon here, more than I have days to stitch them in. And this is a Victorian Summer, and it is another crewel kit that I am just smitten by. I want to do all of the Wysocki crewel kits. And all of the Gold Collection, and all of the Gold Collection petites, and I am not even going to consider how many hours it will take. When I first started stitching, my kiddos were young, and we lived like 5 blocks from the local Michael's, so I would put them in the stroller, and we would walk down there, and I would just walk the aisles because they still had plenty of Dimensions kits in stock back then. And I loved looking at them and plotting out what my next project might be. It was so much fun. And there had already been so many kits produced, and that was 20 years ago, so many, many kits ago. There are more now. What I have is just an itty-bitty fraction of what is out there, and there are so many out of print kits that I would love to have, and I just kind of bide my time and wait and see what I find at the thrift store and estate sales. There is maybe one that I consider a unicorn that I would pay a lot of money for, but I've got enough to keep me stitching. A couple of years ago, I was looking at pictures of an estate sale and realized that all those frame pictures on the walls were Dimensions Gold Collection kits. That is my life goal. I'll put a link to the video I filmed at that estate sale, because if you're into Dimensions kits, you might want to see this. Do you love these kits as much as I do? Have you finished a bunch of them, or do you collect them faster than you stitch them, which is the case when it comes to me? I have got a lot of videos, like I said, that talk about the floss organizers and sorting the floss in the very old kits. I'll put links to all of those in the description box below. I've also got a video about real-less kits and why I love them so much. It's kind of a tie whether I'm more hooked on kits by real-less or dimensions. I found dimensions first and have had a lot more time to collect those. I'm Michelle, and this is my romantic tangle, and thank you so much for watching.